Hello and welcome. After a few years of playing FTL, finally I managed to get all the achievements. So I feel like I want to do a small video where I speak like in short about all the layouts of all the ships and maybe speak about their strength and their weakness and maybe a small tip for each one. Let's start with the Kestrel. The Kestrel is a great ship, it's very balanced. You start with shields, engines, good weapons. You get the burst laser 2, which is one of the best weapons in the game. You get an Artemis, which is a missile. It's okay. The worst thing about the ship is all human crew that doesn't really help you in events. It's not very good. A tip for this ship is focus on offense. Well, that's probably a tip for all the game, but for the ship it's very easy since you get a great weapon. If you pair a few more weapons at the start, you will be able to get to sector 6 or 7 very, very easily, and harvesting a lot of resources to invest in your ship to be able to take down the final boss. The Kestrel B, also called the Red Tail, is probably one of the most famous ships in the game. It fixes some of the problems of the Kestrel A, mostly the all-human crew. Here you get a Zoltan and a Mantis, both great races. The Zoltan gives 1 energy to the weapons, the Mantis helps with defending the ship, and defending the ship is probably one of the problems of the ship, since the layout is not very good. It's like this sort of ring with each room connected to like only 2 rooms near. So it's kind of hard to defend. And another problem of the ship is the fact that every time you get a new weapon, you have to swap one of these out. So you actually gain attack but lose also a bit, because these 4 are all on a 10-second charge, so they're like synchronized, and that helps a lot with getting rid of shields. So even like ships with 3 shields on easy difficulty, you can get through it pretty easily. Overall, one of the best ships probably in the game. And the Swallow, the Kestrel C, is a great ship. It has amazing weapons, a dual laser, like it's basically one of these but twice as better, because it requires 1 energy and 2 shots. It's pretty amazing. And the Ion Stunner, it's very good. It's an ion that also stuns people inside and deals in a whole damage, but it's not very important. It's a very balanced ship. The only problem, that's more like a preference thing, you don't have a med bay, you have a clone bay, so you have to be a bit careful about your energy balance to never lose power to the clone bay or you lose your people. And you also start with Alanias, which is a positive thing. They take oxygen from one of the rooms, and that could help defending, but you have to be pretty careful about it. Next, let's go to the Engi A, the Taurus. It's pretty great. You have 2 Engi, which will help with repairing. You get great weapons, great drone controls. The first problems we have here is only 3 weapon spaces, so you'll have to invest in higher power weapons. But you also have drones, and some of the drones in the game are busted. So if you manage to have a steady supply of drones, it's great. Another great thing about this ship is the Engi Medbot Dispersal, which will heal all the crew in the ship without them entering the ship. And this makes very, very simple defending the ship. It's a great augment, and it helps especially against the final boss, because there's so much stuff flying around. you will get your crew hurt, and with this augmentation you won't have to micromanage your crew and heal them. It's absolutely a good ship, I'd say. A tip for this ship, for the Engi in general, is get a ton of crew. Use your drones sparingly, but don't hoard them. Like, you gotta use them to make, like, you gotta spend to make money. And get a good weapon to pair with the Iron Blast. Probably like maybe 2 of the Burst Laser 2 or a glaive or something like that. It's a good weapon. Okay, there's the NGB that is considered by the community to not be very good. And I have to agree, because one of the biggest problems it has, you start with only 1 crew member. So if you get one of the events where you lose 1 crew member, you get a game over. You have some drones, not the best ones. System repair and anti-personnel, not very good, but that's like 3 scrap, like 40 scrap. Drone reactor bonus booster, not very useful. Weapons, not very good. This one has, it's 13 seconds and 9 seconds. Like, this one is good, this one is kind of bad. But you have like great drones, great weapons, like power. You don't have the cameras on the ship, the sensors, so it's a bit weird, but I've won with this. Well, at least I got to... No, I didn't win, I got to level 8 to unlock the sea. The sea is like pretty cool. You get the dual lasers at 1 power and a beam. You have good crew, you have hacking, which is absolutely OP. I think most of my, like, the wins I got, some of the easiest were with hacking, because you can hack the enemy hacking, especially on the final boss, to avoid getting your weapons hacked or something bad like that. You can hack the pilot to avoid all avoidance. You can hack the shields to, like, basically get rid of it. It's pretty dope. You have only 1 weapon and it costs more to upgrade it, so that's a bit bad. But you have drones. It's a very versatile ship. The layout is okay. You can make this work way better than the B, but clearly the A is the superior one. So next one. Like, this is a ship I absolutely love, but it's not very good. The Burst Laser 2 is great. Like, no doubt about that. And you have an all, like, race crew, and that's amazing. You will have a lot of events, blue events, that will work with this. You have the artillery beam on a 50-second cooldown, which most of the time, if you have a good ship, won't matter. But it's a 4 layout ship. It's like comparable to the Kestrel, but I think the Kestrel is a bit better because you don't have to invest in the artillery beam. And the layout is better too. Like, this long corridor, especially for this big guy, it will take a ton of time to move if he needs. So there are better ships out there, but there are worse ones too. Then you have the B. On the B you have the artillery beam already upgraded, a dual laser and a Leto. That's a good combination of early game weapons. Pretty cheap. You have a Zoltan and a Slug. That's also a very good combination of races. I'd say overall it's pretty similar to the A, but like, it's very, very similar. The layout is maybe a bit better because the corridors are shorter, so you won't have to spend as much time moving around. So we have the Kestrel C, our first pirate ship, with quotes, like, it's the first ship you will try to use the teleporter to go on enemy ships. And it's pretty great doing that, because if you kill all the crew on the enemy ship, you will get more rewards and better rewards. And that's absolutely great. But this ship is not very good. You start without weapons. That's pretty normal for the ships with a teleporter. You have the emergency respirators. I don't know what's the idea behind this ship, but I'd say the first thing you have to do is get more Mantis, like one more Mantis, and start abusing this teleporter to get some good weapons. To pump your artillery beam. Pump your flak artillery, by the way. I haven't never noticed this, but it's a flak. It's a different kind of artillery. I don't think I ever used it. And like overall, you just use the ship. You just have like to fix the ship first and take advantage of the fact that you have a teleporter, which is one of the best thing in the game. Let's go with the adjudicator. This is the Zoltan A. So the Zoltan A is pretty good. You have one of the best weapons in the game, the halberd. It's a 2 damage weapon, and you can draw like a laser, a straight laser on the ship. It's pretty short, not the shortest, but like medium length. With this, you will do a lot of damage because it penetrates one shield. It's absolutely insane. If you pair it with some laser weapons or some ions, you can literally take this weapon to the late game and you will win pretty easily. This ship starts with shields plus Zoltan shields plus 3 weapons. It's great. You just have to improve these awful engines and you start with 3 Zoltans. It's a great ship. That's very good. Probably one of my favorites because I love the halberd beam. The B, that's actually insane too. You start with 4 weapons, 2 shields, 2 engines, shields. You have shields, but you have to spend 100 because they're blocked. It's a weak system. You start with 2 ion blasts on an 8-second cooldown. They're pretty great. And a pike beam. You can keep this setup and add a 4 power weapon. This will work wonderfully. It's an amazing setup. You just need to add defenses and more crew because these 3 little guys will perish against like intruders. Other than that, it's a great ship. Probably on par with the A just because you don't have the halberd. For the C, you have battery, teleporter, drones, a charge ion. It's a weird ship, but you have 4 Zoltans. That's so much energy, it's insane. You have normal shield well charged. It's a damn good ship, actually. The battery is pretty useful if you want to have like mind control or hacking. You can like sync them together and just battery, send the 2 systems, mind control someone. That's very useful, especially on pilots, because you stop them from piloting the ship or hack the weapons. It's great. I'm not a big fan of the clone bay, but some people like it. It's great. I just don't like it. The ion charger is a 1 power ion and a 6-second cooldown. You can like keep some shots to shoot them all together. The beam drone works. Does a ton of damage. Overall, I'd say it's like just get more weapons and you will win with the ship. Next one, we have, well, let's do all the base, then we go to the advanced edition ones. This is a ship I dread because if you see, my last achievement was phase shift. I absolutely don't like the stealth ships, but they're absolutely OP because cloaking is insane. Is the strongest system you can have because you can stay cloaked for 5, 10 or 15 seconds and you're basically invincible for that time if you have at least 520. If you have 4 points in engines and 2 people with yellow expertise, you will be immune to damage for 15 seconds. If you get a stealth weapons, it's called the augment. You can shoot during that time too, without depleting the augment, without depleting the system. You will literally destroy, like, it's a very offensive ship. You start with 4 weapons, which is like 4 engines, like, which actually will let you have 90% dodge at the start. It's 90%? Yes. 20 base, 5 plus 5, 30 plus 60 from this. 90% dodge from the start. You have 2 weapons. They're pretty good. Dual shot laser and the mini beam. Pretty great. The mini beam looks weak, but it's actually kind of insane. You have a little shield, but you can get at least 3 rooms, and in some layouts even 4. Like maybe here you could get like 4 if you got something like this. It's actually a good weapon. But I hate it. Because it took me so long to get the phase shift. B, this is a very fun one. You start with 2 in cloaking, 4 in weapons, and a damn glaive beam with 25 seconds recharge, which is insane. You can start, and with the first scrap you get, pump 1 more into cloaking, so you can clock 15 seconds, then wait 10 more seconds, shoot down the glaive, which deals 3 damage. You will basically one-shot most ships in the first 3 or 4 sectors. It's absolutely an insane ship. And on all 3 the stealths, the only tip I can give you is get shields. Like, you will almost always find shields in store. You need to get shields because you start without shields. It's the only thing you need. If you get shields, you'll be okay. If you find a prey igniter and shields and cloaking, you basically won the game. It's insane. The C is pretty good. You have the Zoltan shield drone. You have some good weapons, but you start without a med bay. You start without med bay. That's very bad. You have drones. You don't even have the cloaking. Like, no, don't play this one. Play A and B. They're okay. I don't like them though. I'm very happy to not playing them. The Rockman ships. Very bad. You need a weapon, a good weapon. Missiles won't do it. 11 seconds, 17 seconds, awful. But the ship is great for invasions. Like, if you get people on board, you will destroy them. This is an open layout. You can get to any part of the ship in seconds. It's amazing. And you have great shields, great motor, amazing weapons, good systems all around. Rock plating, you can sell it for 40 scrap. The second one has a fire bomb and a heavy pierce. This one pierces 1 shield, but do we really care? It's basically like this, the first one, but without doors and with 1 more oxygen. It's not very good. You can make it work, but like, change your weapons. This one, you have a Crystal Man. Crystal Men are insane. They can lock a room, but on this ship is not very useful because you can't send them on an enemy ship. You will see in the future that they have a very specific use. And you start with the crystal shield, piercing crystal shield, like shot, a clone bay. Just like keep this, get rid of the swarm, get some good weapons. You already start with good defenses. It's a bad ship, but you can do it. The Man of War, the Slugman ship. I'm noticing that most of the ship in this game are kind of awful. You start with the anti-bio beam, awful. It's a laser weapon that deals only damage to the crew. It's good if you want to kill the crew to keep the ship, but it's very clunky. Breach weapon, they do a breach on the ship that has to be repaired and let out the oxygen. It's okay. No, it's bad. Dual laser are good. Sell this one. Keep the slug repair gel. Just don't play this shit. The B, yeah, at least you have a teleporter. Slugmen fight pretty well, right? They're immune to mind control. You have a teleporter, but you don't have a med bay or a clone bay. You'll have heal bomb and normal missiles. Like, this is a troll ship. And the C has the chain laser, mind control, and hacking. That's actually pretty great. I should play this ship more because that's kind of good. If only it had the med bay instead of the clone bay. But that's kind of cool, like a cool ship. I guess from looking at this, what you need a teleporter if you have space for it, and then some other good weapons. Mantis Cruiser Type A, the Gila Monster. The Gila Monster is alright. You have a 2-room teleporter, which is okay. You need more weapons, but it's a weak system, so it's a bit annoying. You have good shields, good motor, like good engines. It's not bad, but it's an okay ship. Like, we've seen worse. And you have 3 Mantis plus an Engi. That's pretty cool. The Mantis B, the Basilisk, has a 4-room teleporter. Sadly, you only start with 2 crews and drones, but you can do some sick things like start with the boarding drone, since you have a drone system. Then you teleport the Mantis crew in another room and you start wrecking the other ship. Usually you do it very, very fast. This is the best teleporting ship in the base game without the advanced edition. This one is just weird. You have a 4-room teleporter with lock bomb and stun bombs without weapons. You have a powered clone bay. It's weird. It's why would you make such a weird ship? It's not bad, but it's not good. I guess if you get rid of the bad weapons and get some good ones and get more Mantis and teleport them in, you can make it work, but just play B is better. Then let's go with the 2 advanced edition one. Have the Lanius A. The Lanius A is pretty good. Chain laser is great. Slow, but you shoot 2 shots and you get to shot them at 7 seconds after 3 times. The Ion Stunner is dope. You have hacking, you have 3 in weapons, 2 in shields. The engine is a bit weak, but it's like you will power that pretty quick. You have the clone bay that's a bit annoying. I would prefer a med bay, but it's okay. It's a good ship, it's a good. And then you have the B that has probably one of the most efficient weapons in the game, the advanced flak. It's just a flak, but it requires 1 power. It's insanely good. You also have a 2-room teleporter, mind control, a clone bay, and an Engi to repair. This one has a human. So this one is absolutely insane. Like, it's not insanely good, but it's insanely efficient in what it does. So it's pretty dope. And the last ship, it's the Crystal ship. That was very hard to unlock, but very fun to play. Base Crystal is... You have these 2 crystal weapons that are pretty okay. you have the true crystal dudes that seem like a bit lackluster when you play them on your ship. But if you get teleporter, you basically get this ship that is the most OP ship in the game, because you have the best systems together: cloaking and teleporting. You have a 4-room teleporter with three crystal dudes. If you get some, like, 3 crystal dudes, you get 1 Mantis. This becomes absolutely insane, because you can send a crystal and block the room, destroy the system you're in, and then let them come in, maybe 1 or 2 of them, then close the room again with another 1 of them. It's absolutely insane, and in the meanwhile, you can keep the ship safe by putting some points into piloting and cloaking, so you'll like avoid hits. You have also shields, but on this ship you will need absolutely a battery, because you need so much stuff. This ship like is absolutely insane. If you get some good weapons, you can cheese the final boss by killing everyone on the weapons. You know how the final boss has 4 weapons that are armed with 1 person each inside, so you can just send them there and kill those people. And like you with incursion, you just kill everyone except 1 dude, and you keep him alive and destroy the rest of the ship. Just remember to teleport back your dudes before each phase change, or you will lose them. The augment for the crystal ship is absolutely useless, and you have the sweet revenge thing to do. That is destroying an enemy ship with this augment, so that's pretty annoying. But yeah, these are all the ships in FTL. I hope you liked the video, and I guess soon after this I'll start playing some of the very famous FTL mod that is Multiverse. Well, I hope you find some of the things I said in this video useful, and let me know if I said something wrong, or if you think that I should do some other content on base FTL. Bye bye.